and welcome to Vegan Cafe 21. Today we are making spicy curried squash soup. So let's get started. To make our soup, we are using a combination of butternut squash and acorn squash. Here I have halved a fresh butternut squash. This is by weight 2.5 pounds. This here is acorn squash that I've also halved. This is 1.25 pound by weight. So we are going to clean out the insides and then bake it in our oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you don't want to use fresh, you can also use canned pumpkin puree. If you don't want to use canned but also don't want to go through the hassle of cutting and cleaning, you can get diced from your supermarket and then roast it in the oven just the way we would these halves. So now all I'm going to do is scoop out the seeds. You can use a knife or a spoon to just loosen them up and lift them out of the cavity. Now I've already started preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I also have a parchment lined baking tray over which I'm going to place these halves. Now all we are going to do is drizzle our halves with some olive oil. And use some pink salt to sprinkle over the surface. I have a teaspoon of pink salt in this cup. I'm going to use some of it here, and we'll use some to re-season it once our soup is done. Now on this baking tray, we're also going to place some onion alongside. So here I have one onion that I've cut into quarters, and I'm going to place it just like this. And next to our onions, we are going to place a few cloves of garlic. Here I have a few big ones, about 4 or 5 of them. A nice drizzle of olive oil over our onions and garlic as well. Now we are going to give a nice rub of oil and salt. Sprinkle some salt on our onions as well. Now let's also give it a few grinds of black pepper. Now I'm going to move this tray into our preheated oven and let it cook for about 40 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The idea is to get them soft and squishy, because ultimately we're going to scoop out the flesh and then proceed to make our soup. Now while our squash is roasting in the oven, I'm going to walk you through the spices. In this cup, I have about a 2.5 inch long stick of cinnamon, 1 bay leaf, 3 cloves. Here we have half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. You can adjust chili flakes to your taste and liking, add more or less of them. Here I have what is left from 1 teaspoon of pink salt that we started out with. This is half a teaspoon of roasted cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of Sambhar Powder. You can get Sambhar Powder online or at a local Indian store if you have one. If you can't find it, you can omit it. Here I have about 1 tablespoon of tamarind concentrate. Now if you don't have tamarind concentrate, you can use freshly squeezed lime juice. We are going to thin out our soup with water. If you want to substitute this with vegetable stock, feel free to do so if you have vegetable stock on hand. I'm going to start out with 2 cups of water and then increase and add more as we need it. We will saute all of these spices in about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and also grind about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I have turned the heat on under our pot on our stove top. Add our tablespoon of olive oil. Once our oil heats up, we are going to add our bay leaf and cinnamon stick along with our cloves. Move them around. Once they start releasing the aroma, turn the heat to low and add your red chili flakes. Make sure the heat is low at this point because we do not want to burn our spices. There was our roasted cumin, in goes our coriander and Sambhar Powder. Give everything a nice mix. And now we add our water. To this, now we're going to add our tamarind concentrate. Mix it in, add our pink salt. Now we can bump our heat and let it come to a boil. All right, so our squashes are done roasting. It took me 45 minutes to get them to this point. Look at the beautiful color on our onions and garlic, and look how soft and squishy they are. Do you see this? So now we're going to allow them to cool a little bit so it's easy for us to scoop out the meat into our blender jar, and then we are going to puree everything that we just roasted and proceed further. Now to our blender, I'm going to add 2 cups of room temperature water. Now you will take it to our base and blend it into a smooth puree. Our roasted squash puree is ready. I'm going to switch my pots because I want enough room to thin our soup out if need be. I'm going to transfer curried stock that we prepared earlier into this larger pot. Turn the heat on under it. Transfer our puree to this liquid. We're going to grind some black pepper in it. Give it a quick stir to check out the consistency. I'm just going to add half a cup of water to our blender jar to get all the goodness gathered from it and poured back into the pot. Come to a boil, and then we'll give it a quick taste test to see if we need to adjust any seasonings that you may like. There you have it, our spicy curried soup served alongside veggie quesadillas. You can serve it with cornbread or chips if you prefer. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please do give it a try. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you again soon with more vegan favorites.